But know that the more you repeat, the more will go and sink into your subconscious, so the more you will be able to let go in your thinking. Like when I do phrase right now, when I go and I sight read, I don't analyze anything. I just really go with intuition, and it's a correct intuition because I trained my intuition. So eventually, yeah, you will trust, but in the beginning, please do overthink. That's okay. Take it easy. Even if you need to digest 1 or 2 weeks, the phrasing is one of the biggest element in my system. So especially if you have a habit of just by hearing phrasing you feel compulsive tension in your body and confusion in your mind, you have a huge area of undoing here and rewiring your mind and your whole body system, really. So take your time. Let's go to how to sing and play phrasing to express your ideas, right? Because we discussed before, one thing is, I love your analogy, it's good to know the map, the structure, but if you don't have a car, if you don't know how to go through it and reach destination, it's all gonna be quite difficult. Okay, so can you tell me, when we're gonna sing, what kind of essential 2 type of energy we need to create and be familiar with?
There is an energy like something is empty and without any energy at all. Something so light and away from you. And there is an energy of force. It's like a force. That's power. And we go from state of low energy to big energy.
So fluid and going forward. Essentially, we want to emphasize something that is moving. It's light, it's far away, and it's moving. Versus the one that is more settled, static, and up close. So it's something that is fluid and moving, and something that is static and up close and rigid. All right. So the better you develop the contrast in the sensations and expression of these 2 energies, the better and the more expressive your phrasing will be. Let's put it that way. All right. And yeah, really, those words really came out to me. Not here, not here, not here, not here, not here, not here, right here, right here. You see? Not here, not here, right here, right here. So maybe, it's a very good thing to just start with the words and just say out loud the phrase with correct energy, even before starting singing or playing. As a teacher who is working on phrasing, you cannot expect a pianist to make a good phrasing if the pianist can just say, not here, right here, right here. If it all sounds like, not here, right here. That's what you're gonna get in your playing. So to grasp that very essential change in energy of phrasing, which is what phrasing is all about. It's about change and motion and movement and life. Without that you can't even go on to playing the pieces.
Not here, right here.
So the static was still having some movement in it. Less movement.
I feel that.
Right here. The Soviet Union one. Not here. Light and far away. Fluid, moving. Like a leaf in the air. Not here.
Not here, not here, right here, right here.
Okay, good enough. And remember, when we're gonna sing now, we need to avoid any pressure in the notes themselves. This is just our destination post, but it's all about the journey in between. So obviously, we're expressing phrasing through intonation. And everything you want to deliver, this energy when you want to deliver it, that's your portal between those notes, those markings. And also remember that with all these singing exercises, probably need to write it even twice in my book. It's first you sing out loud, but then it is important to also sing it internally, just like you did, but just to validate that for you. Because this is the feeling that we ultimately want to feel when we play, because we're not going to sing out loud when we're going to play, right? And remember, musical speech somehow helps to distribute energy better. When you understand that you're going through the second and third and fourth and the tritone and the fifth and the sixth and the seventh and the octave. I don't know how. I still need to investigate, maybe in the next years. Or maybe you will help me. But if I sing the phrase without musical speech, or with a musical speech, there's a difference. I definitely feel it's much more expressive, each interval. So try to remember to sing it out loud and then internally, also feeling musical speech in each interval. Now you're gonna have the whole week to train that. So let's talk about how to sing motifs. Let's start with that one. Where do we use? So as you can see in the book, the motif is going to be essentially 4 intervals. And we already know that the last interval is going to be the most important part, where we're probably going to use that static up-close energy the most. The first 2 intervals we're going to sing with that lighter energy, and we are singing it faster, and we're singing it without singing glissando out loud. Because again, singing glissando out loud may be just in the way of experiencing that lighter, far-going energy. Where when we sing the last 2 intervals, with the most important one, the very last interval, we sing it slower, and we sing it with more glissando and resistance out loud. And again, we sing it with more static energy. So, as you can see, the tempo changed. I started faster. I didn't sing out loud, glissando there. And then the second 2 intervals are slow down. I actually naturally increase my voice, but don't think about it. It will probably come to you naturally. And I was actually singing. I had space and time to sing the resistance and glissando out loud. So again, and remember, we are leading to this tritone with musical speech. Okay, now you need to sing the first 2 intervals faster, and so feel the resistance of glissando, you see, but you don't have to sing it. This is very important because in phrasing we will also learn how to intonate fast. Didn't mention that in the book, but it's so important to be able and still feel what you're doing there. So the mastery of singing fast and feeling it is basically one step to your virtuosity, because whatever you cannot intonate fast, you cannot play fast. which you will discover later. So, singing a bit faster those lighter intervals. This was good. Let's talk about now how to sing phrases and sentences. And what are actually 4 kind of guiding rules to remember when we sing phrases and sentences?
Singing under one single breath.
Maybe we can also mention why. So if we sing, for example, a sentence, why we can't take the breath in the sentence after each motif? Why we cannot sing oh, oh, why it has
because
to
we
be...
break the energy flow.
So the connection, we have this amazing connection between the thought and the breathing. Breathing is a very sacred thing, and so when we're gonna take a breath in the middle of one idea, whether it's one phrase or one sentence, somehow we will not get this solid whole unit in our mind, because the whole idea of actually singing, phrasing fast, is just to get that whole melody into a very small thing in your mind. Done. This is one idea, this is another idea. This is another idea, this is another idea. That's what we want to achieve. And so singing on one breath somehow finishes and somehow unites this whole block in our mind. Okay, so we don't break phrase or a sentence with a breath. We only breathe after each phrase or after each sentence. What else? Well, there is no... You don't have to go too far, just remember how I just sang, so you can allow yourself to sing out of pitch. So, like I said in the beginning, we're not really interested in hitting directly those points where we're going, it's all about the journey. So as long as you feel kind of in your mind, you feel the road, you feel that those turns, and you change the energy through your intonation. So intervals is what we're interested in, not hitting the nose in the right pitch. We're not learning how to sing clearly here, right? So you can sing out of pitch, especially when you need to sing the whole sentence, you know. That's gonna come out in a very, very hilarious way, but that's not what we're interested in, right? We need to grasp one unit in our mind, and we need to distribute the energy within it and feel how we do it through intonation. That's what is our interest. Okay, so don't break with the breath. You can sing out of pitch. What else? It might help us a lot when we sing a phrase to remember that this is just a part of speech, of human speech. So again, your brain might find it a little bit more comprehensive if you make, not with the breath, but with the timing, little pauses between the blocks. So if it's a phrase and it's gonna have 2 motifs, we can sing like this, to just get the idea of some kind of rhyme and pace in the phrase. So we can take little breaks without breathing between motifs in a phrase. And we can also take little breaks without breathing between phrases in a sentence. So, so that might be helpful. And of course, when you sing, especially when we sing a sentence, it's good to still remember where to keep our eye on. So it's good to know in that whole sentence what is actually the main interval of the main motif of the main phrase. Because again, that's gonna kind of like, I don't know how to explain. It's gonna attract everything you do to that point.
I understand. I feel it.
So if, for example, in the sentence, the main interval is at ascending octave in the second motif of the first phrase, keep that in mind. That's your main word, if you will, in your sentence. So you go, so get that feeling. That's what we ultimately need. In a motif, not here, is going to be the first two intervals. Right here is going to be the second two intervals. In a phrase, not here, in a less important motif, right here, in a more important motif. In a sentence, you see the first phrase is more important, so it's going to be right here for the first two phrases, for the first phrase, and not here for the second descending phrase. But if we sing the phrase, you're just gonna stretch that whole right here above the whole motif. Even though the motif will have its own interval, but you see, if you worked with the motif before, when you're gonna let go that idea and just thinking about the phrase, somehow that main interval of the motif will be there. You don't have to drive yourself crazy by analyzing and thinking, oh, how much do I give to the main interval of the main motif, of the main phrase in a sentence, you know? It will be there. All right, so and in the second phrase, right here, where is it?
In the first motif.
Okay, so this is clear. Let's talk about the sentence. Where is going to be not here in this sentence?
And the first is the second.
No, you stretch it over the second phrase. Again, the higher you go, the more meta you need to think. So you don't think about motifs and intervals and those things anymore. You just look, this is sentence, it has two phrases. First, right here. Second, not here. This is very important to understand, because in the past my students would have this huge confusion about, wait, so how much I should distribute? This is the main, okay, so in the main phrase there is a main motif and there is a main interval, and in the second, you know, you can't go like that. You can only think about the closest thing. So in the motif you think about main interval. In the phrase, you think about the main motif, not much about the main interval. In the sentence, you only think about the main phrase, not the main motif, not the main interval. It will be there, because you already created it. So again, it's the matter of trust to your sensation, trust to repetitions as well, because that creates the kind of subconscious knowing and feeling. Okay, so that leads to the point that it's very important, before you jump to a phrase, to work each motif very well. Before you go on to a sentence, to practice each phrase very well. But right now, let's just try. Let's come back to motif again. Let's sing it. Now, copy and paste the same, but now spread it over just the motifs.
In the phrase.
In the first phrase, all you need to think, not here is the first motif, and right here is the second. Very good. You didn't breathe. In between, if you want, you can sing one more time. Again, the first motif you have to sing a little bit faster, basically just like you've done. Then you can make a little pause, like a little comma, запятая, you know? And then you sing the second motif a little bit slower. Mm-hmm. You might want to sing the first motif a bit faster, not to run out of your breath. This is another thing. If you feel you're singing the phrase and you're almost running out of your breath in the second motif, that means you did not sing the first motif fast enough. Don't be afraid not to hit the right pitch. Now we're going to sing second phrase. Let's do at least that before we go into a sentence. So in the first phrase, where is right here, in the first motif. Where is not here, not important, not important, which is faster and lighter, the second motif. So you're gonna sing this way. See the difference in tempo as well. And you can sing second motif much faster. Not important, not important, not important. Okay, so now we're moving to a sentence. So in the first sentence, which part is going to be right here? Well, there's only one sentence. Which part is more
The
important?
first part.
No.
No?
Which is what?
First
Phrase.
The first phrase of the sentence. Huh?
Okay, and the second phrase is meaning not here, meaning lighter and faster. Again, all of this we have to sing on one breath. You can make a little pause between these two phrases, and you can sing completely out of pitch. So you can also make little caesura, little pauses between motifs as well. Now, did you get the sensation that all those notes were just a part of one small idea? Complete. Finished. Let's go to playing. So what are two important things to remember about playing? One is very general and second one is just applying to exactly this exercise. So when we approach the more important interval in a motif or motif in a phrase, or phrase in a sentence. When we need to slow down and express more energy, we need to increase the hand motion. This is a very, very fundamental part to understand, because what happens if you're gonna express some more energy with a constrained movement here, you will experience the blockage of energy here, and so it will backfire as a tension in your wrist and your forearm probably as well. So when you, on the other hand, rocking your boat, aligning it with the bigger waves in your energy, this will align your body movement with your inner energy, and everything will be natural. Okay, no tension. Alright, so the second thing is, as you can see, we are going to play motifs that are jumping on sevenths and octaves. So keep in mind, this is our changing of position. So we're going to use elbow. As soon as I reach seventh, we're going right to the rule that we learned in book 1. So we move elbow, we make the swing. We move elbow, we make the swing. So when this motif is going to be just a part of a bigger block, let's say a sentence. I mean, this motif actually in the phrasal sentence always going to be most important. But anyway, if you need to play faster, you still move elbow, but remember in a faster tempo, hand motion instead of 3D becomes more flat, becomes more 2D. So instead of doing this, you will go. You're still not stretching your hand. You still move your hand by the force of your elbow, but you're not making those, double swings anymore. That's all I wanted to say. So let's just repeat after me. So we're gonna play motif first. You might wanna sing it first in your mind, and then play. Let's also mention about what are 3 main steps when we're playing motif or phrase or sentence. Let's say ultimately we want to achieve this when we play phrasing. We want to be able to feel internally all the changes of our energy, where externally we're not really changing, not necessarily changing dynamics or timing. So the rhythm, the meter is not changing, dynamic stays the same, whether you're playing piano or let's say in forte. But inside you feel the expansion of energy and decrease of energy. You feel that. And so to achieve that play safely without compromising one or another thing, I suggest this very simple plan of practicing phrasing, where first you just play phrasing without any sound imagination. You allow yourself to increase dynamics as much as you want, as long as it helps you to develop that sense of expansion of your energy, that sense of not here, right here, okay? Then, when you feel that's solidly established, you go to step 2. You actually imagine the notes that you're gonna play in sound movement, and let's say it's also in sound texture with the harmony maybe, and let's say piano. And now you're trying to play in the same dynamics, but you still slow down. So you still allow dynamic, you allow the tempo deviation, you allow that rubato. Well, it's not really rubato, it's like slowing down, but you try to keep the same dynamics. And then the third step is where you keep the same dynamics and you keep the same pace. You don't change anything, but you still feel expansion of energy. So all these 3 steps in a motif could look like this. So the first one, I allow myself change in dynamics and change in tempo. First intervals, softer, faster. Second 2 intervals, louder, slower, more weight and greater hand amplitude and hand motion. Remember, we mentioned that in the previous lessons, so when we're going to expend that energy, that means we bring more arm weight, even though it sounds opposite, because arm weight is more relaxation. But you see, this is what happens, even if I do everything right, but I'm not, at least in the beginning, consciously increasing the arm weight of my whole body. Arm weight of the body sounds so strange, but okay. I'm not increasing the weight, right? Then what you will get is this. More tension, oh my god, that was absolutely horrible. So now with no, you increase more weight in those right here. And this is where you got what we discussed yesterday, your figure. Red in the mind and your energy, but green in your body. So you get it all balanced. So remember about that. Increase arm weight in a right here part. Okay. Now second step. I allow myself only change in tempo, but I try to keep the same dynamics. Yet I expand the energy. That was piano. Or for example, well, let's go to the third step. Now I keep the same dynamics and I keep the same tempo, yet I feel the expansion of energy. You see? In my mind, I just sang, but as we discussed so many times before, that sound imagination and intonation are on different levels. They're not necessarily independent. So we can change intonation and energy there while keeping the same dynamics in our sound imagination. So how about we try all these 3 steps in that motif that you've just done? So with the phrase, it's going to be the same. Again, I'll show you all 3 versions. Second, everything piano. And now everything the same tempo. Very simple thing. A big mastery to achieve this.